Good Yontif, Shana Tova. The joke is that we call these the high holidays because our focus is on saying hi. It's like a community reunion where we get to see people we care about and yet may not have seen for quite some time, especially in this post-pandemic era. And by the way, hi to those who are joining us remotely on the live stream. What does community mean to us in 2022? 2,000 years ago, Pirkei Avot taught, do not separate yourself from the community. Why do we stay connected to community in real life when so many of our needs can be met in the virtual world? What is it that continues to bind us together? I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, in a community where we all belonged to one of two shuls. And as we walked to those two local synagogues on the high holidays, it was a joy to see the streets filled with more and more people and to sense the deep connection that we all felt to each other. The warmth was palpable, as was the anticipation of the year ahead. We need our community to share the story of our people with the next generation. For her 88th birthday this year, her grandchildren gifted my mom with a storytelling project called Storyworth, where she answers a question each week about her life story. When the assignment came to write about the best time in her life, one of her responses was those years of raising the family where the whole neighborhood was connected to each other. We knew each other, we hung out together, and she reminded me that during summer breaks, we had camp on the block, spending each day in a different backyard and providing relief to the parents at home. In my family, we are still blessed to be connected, even when we live not just blocks, but many miles apart from each other. And my mom added, the best time of her life is also right now. At 88, seeing her family grow and her pride in the uniqueness of each of her 9 grandchildren and 10 great-grandchildren. We live in a world of universalism. Technology allows us to work with folks across the globe and to develop deep and meaningful relationships virtually. And yet, what are we without a community close to home in real life? One of the saddest memories of my career was when I was visiting a gentleman in the hospital, and his son was there, struggling to understand that his father's life was drawing to a close. The son confided to me in the hallway that he had heard that there was a Jewish community that would somehow be there for them when his dad died, that the Jewish community would provide food and a minyan and loving support. How to explain to him that those days were long gone, that if he was not part of a synagogue community, that the likelihood was that he would be very much alone with his loss. We need our community to hold our hands when we are sad and frightened, and to dance with us when we feel joy. A colleague shared the perspective of a 13-year-old student who invented her own religion. It went like this: God created the world, and that's it. You die, and that's it. It doesn't matter what you wear to services. Actually, There are no services, just the announcements and the refreshments. Well, while I'm not ready to let go of services, and I think there may be slightly more to it than that, I think she's on to something. The announcements, what is going on in the community, that is important and meaningful, and that you should maybe consider joining. And the refreshments, a time of social connection and delving into each other's lives. I can't deny that these are pretty important. So why are you here? Why does community continue to speak to your soul? What is your dream vision of what community can and should provide? What special gift do you bring to our Temple Chai community? The Torah begins with the creation of the world and one family. The story of the Jewish people begins with one family, the family of Abraham and Sarah. We continue to be a family with a common history, a story that binds us together. Trust is the foundation of community. One of the great challenges of community, especially in the world of individualism in which we find ourselves, is the need to sometimes subsume our personal desires for the greater good. We need to have confidence that whatever our perspective, whatever our point of view, our goal is what is best for all of us. The mezuzah is placed on an angle. Why is that? It represents the compromise between two rabbis, one of whom thought it should be vertical, and the other said, no, it should be placed horizontal. Peace in our home, shalom bayit, we learn from this, is based on the willingness to compromise. Compromise is the foundation of harmony. As we seek a new location for our congregation, this will be critical. When we look around this room, we remind ourselves that each person here is made in the image of God, that each one is unique, that we are indeed part of one family, even if we don't necessarily feel a natural affinity with each other. I understand that the furthest any of us on earth are from one another is 6 degrees of separation. I think that in the Jewish world, it's more like 2 degrees of separation. We need our community to inspire us and challenge us and to enhance the sense of meaning and purpose in our lives. Several years ago, Harvard conducted a study where 2 groups of Palestinians and Israelis met. One group was told how closely related they were to each other genetically. The group that had been told how they were related treated each other with more respect and kindness and cooperation, and was more willing to cooperate. Whatever brings us here right now, what underlies us is the power of connection, the power of caring. We need our community to challenge us to live according to our highest values. We are here to support each other, to create a space where we can share our essential selves without fear of judgment, where we can be real in all our pain, truly sharing each other's lives with a true sense of safety and security. Robert Frost Riley observes that home is the place where when you have to go there, they have to take you in. We hope that Temple Chai feels like home, not because you have to be here, but because you want to be here. And know that we welcome you because, not that we have to, but because you are part of our family. We live with an increasing global sense of connectivity. The Midrash in Leviticus tells the classic story of the individual who is drilling a hole under the seat in his boat when the other passengers begin to reprimand him. "What business is it of yours?" he replies. "I'm drilling under my own seat." We have learned, finally and ultimately, that we are all in the same boat. Coronavirus drove that point home, and the threat of climate change keeps us ever mindful. We are part of a global community. We need our community to partner with us in Tikkun Olam, in the hard and challenging work of healing our broken world, to reinforce our sense of responsibility. And that doesn't mean that we don't need each other in our own small universe as well. Certainly, they are not mutually exclusive. More social media often leads to more loneliness, not to a greater sense of connection. Digital connections are not the totality of our future. Who will comfort us when we are in pain? Who will celebrate with us when we have joys to share? How can we create a community that honors our need for self-expression while bringing us together with common purpose? Our Temple Chai Board of Directors recently shared their reflections on what they find most meaningful about Temple Chai. Again and again, the same ideas emerged: friendship, acceptance, and inclusivity. People expressed awe about the intense caring that pervades Temple Chai. We need our community to share the story of our people with the next generation. We need our community to challenge us to live according to our highest values. We need our community to partner with us in Tikkun Olam, in healing our broken world, to reinforce our sense of responsibility. We need our community to hold our hands when we are sad and frightened, and to dance with us when we feel joy. We need our community to challenge us and inspire us and to enhance the sense of meaning and purpose in our lives. We, all of us here together, are the creators and sustainers of this fragile and precious community. We need all of you, and I'd like to humbly suggest you need us too. May this new year bring us a renewed sense of excitement and purpose as we imagine and bring to fruition the Temple Chai community of the future.